Hey everybody, it's Luke with Figure Me Out, and today we're looking at the Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy Optimus Primal. This is a figure that I didn't expect to get. I don't do Transformers much, or at all, really. But Beast Wars was one of those things that I just happened to hit that at the right time whenever I was growing up, to where I watched a lot of Beast Wars for some reason. And so this kind of brought me back to that. And I saw it today and I said, yep, that's going home with me. So taking a look at the packaging, and you can see we've kind of done a 360 here. We're coming around to the last side, and pretty good packaging artwork. Tiny window box. I really thought from the solicitation pictures that this was going to be bigger. Now, again, I don't do Transformers, so I didn't know. But he is kind of tiny, or tiny looking, at least in the box here. Taking a look at the top, you've got the Transformers logo and some stuff. And forgive me, I don't know what most of the things are. And then on the bottom, we've got some words. But I'm going to go ahead and crack this thing open, and we're going to take a closer look at what's inside the box. And here we are out of the box. And taking a closer look at this figure, I'm just going to let him spin for a second here. We've got some really, really good detailing on this. Some pretty clean paint apps. Got some reds and some whites and some blacks and some blues. And they all kind of mesh together in this unique way that looks really good. All the paint that I've seen on it so far has been applied pretty clean. It's a good looking figure. First Transformer I've had since I was a child, collecting toys, and so don't really know a whole lot what to expect here, but and I don't really have any other Transformers to compare it to, but I can say aesthetically I do like this a lot. I like the little pistons on the feet. That's pretty cool. And I like his little swords and his, like I said, everything's painted clean. It's pretty good. But I'm going to take this down here and we'll go over some other things. And first off, let's talk about some accessories. So he comes with 2 swords, and those are pretty well done. They're like a silvery on the end, and then a blue on the hilt there. And those fit into his hands pretty nicely. There's actually a little slot in his hands that those are going to slide into. It's kind of odd because he can actually open his hand, and the sword is still, in there well. And then you can close it, and they do spin around once you put them in there, if you don't get it caught on the thing there. Put that the right way. There you go. So you can see that's pretty cool. I like those swords a lot. Actually, they're not bad. But taking a look at the rest of the figure here, and yeah, just pretty good stuff all around. Now, this wouldn't be a Transformer if it didn't transform, unless it's part of the Red series, which I don't have any of. But yeah, so let's talk about the transformation here. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's talk about the articulation in this mode. So we do get a head that looks up and down just a little bit. We get side to side. These little cannons on the back are articulated as well. The chest flaps up and down a little bit. I don't know if that's by design or if it's just a byproduct of the transformation process. These shoulder flaps can move up and down, and you'll see that whenever we transform into the beast mode. The arms come up right at 90, so that's pretty good. They do a full rotation. You get a little bit of a pivot there, forward and back, so that's pretty all right. You do get a bicep swivel, a single jointed elbow that comes in pretty much all the way, though. I mean, you can't really ask for more than that. Also, on his wrists here, we have a little thing, and I like to use these swords to kind of pop this out. But on his wrists, you get little rocket launchers, and it's the same for both wrists. You can see that right there, and that's pretty good. At the wrist, they just swivel around, and the fingers are hinged to go open and closed on that as well. Now, talking about the rest of it here, we do have a waist twist. We have legs that come out to the side really far, actually. And then they kick forward pretty good as well. They kick back a pretty fair amount. And then you do have a little bit of rotation there at the top of that. It gets kind of hindered by the sculpt there. You can see I've got a little bit of rub on the inside of that leg there because of that. Let me adjust my light here so we get a little bit better lighting. At the knees, we have a single jointed knee that comes in pretty much as you would want it to. That's pretty good. And then there is like a second knee in there too, so it's kind of like a double joint almost. So you can really get extra if you want to, but I think that's, again, part of the transformation process. So I don't know if that was intended to be a double jointed knee or if it's just a byproduct of the transformation. The shins, they do have a rotation, but mine only goes a little bit in either direction, which I guess is fine. It's, fine-tuned posing type stuff. And then you do have the toe hinge goes up all the way and then not really down at all. So that's fine. The ankles, they do kind of come up. They kind of come down a bit. And then you do get a pretty fair ankle rocker. It's good for minute posing type things. It's nothing crazy, though. Let's go ahead and transform this thing. I'm probably going to speed it up as I do this, but you can watch how that's done. And there it is. And there's Optimus Primal in his primal beast form. And yeah, I think this looks pretty good. It looks very ape-like. Not too much kibble, I think is what it's called. The little extra stuff that hangs off the back. Not too much of that in this. So that's pretty good. A little bit on the back of the feet, a little bit on the back of the legs. But if you have them in a forward-facing position, you really can't tell at all. So that's pretty cool as far as that goes. Now, whenever you have them in the monkey mode, the articulation is pretty much the same. Arms, come out straight to the side. Full rotations, the same arms as before. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbow. You do still get the little rockets that pop out. Same thing with the hands. Obviously, all that's going to be the same. Now, the head on this one does do a lot more, though. So he can look up quite a bit. And I guess that's so that you can get him in some, down poses like that. That's pretty cool. You don't get as much rotation. You don't get a full rotation out of this, though, unless you really lift it up, and then it kind of looks wonky. So that's something to note. No pivot at all. Again, just kind of side-to-side movement there. Same waist twist, although now it's going to be hindered a little bit by that back piece. You want to kind of leave that in place. And then the legs are kind of the big thing. So you get the monkey legs, and they kind of go forward and back. You don't really get as much of a knee joint there, so you can't really get back as far, but you can get forward a lot more. And with that, you can kind of get him into a crouching, on all four hands kind of position if you want to, so you can kind of get him down doing ape stuff. But anyway, so yeah, pretty cool. I definitely like both modes on this. The transformation's pretty easy, not too crazy terrible there. I was almost able to figure it out without looking at the instructions. Luckily, it did come with instructions because I am an idiot, so I had to kind of do those for the back. I didn't want to break it, and I felt like I was going to that first time because it's pretty, you got to put a little bit of force into it to pop that off, and I was like, oh, I don't want to break it because this thing was not cheap. It wasn't expensive. I think it was $35 retail, but not, something that you want to break either. And I forgot to mention, but the feet actually are hinged to go down, but they don't go up, the toe hinge. So that's kind of an interesting set. I think it's probably just so you can get that fine detail posing, but you're not going to get a whole lot with that. And for a size comparison, here he is next to the Whoosh Articulated Icons Green Ninja and then Cyborg Spider-Man from Marvel Legends. And here he is next to the McFarlane Fortnite Skull Trooper and then the Marvel Legends Union Jack, which utilizes the Bucky Cap body. Pretty standard size Legend there. That's right at about 6 inches. And so you can see this guy's definitely kind of short. That was the one thing that really surprised me taking this out of the package, was how small it actually is. For some reason in the solicitation photos, I thought it was going to be bigger. Maybe it's just whenever I was a kid, I thought they were bigger. I don't know. But he's definitely a little guy. But yeah, that's it. That's the Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron, whatever, Optimus Primal. And I really like this a lot. I think I'm definitely going to pick up the Megatron, that T-Rex Megatron. I had one like that whenever I was a kid. And that's really what kind of drew me into this line. Again, I kind of watched Beast Wars a little bit as a kid. It kind of hit at the right time. So that was like my Transformers, I guess I would call it. Yeah, but pretty cool figure there. I definitely like it. Definitely going to be picking up that other one. May even get like that cheetah dude. Sorry, I don't know the names of these. Probably should have looked that up before I started this. But anyway, yeah, that cheetah guy looks pretty cool. The spider lady looks kind of cool. There's a few ones that look pretty cool. I'm going to try not to go too far into this line because they are, again, pretty expensive compared to what I normally buy. And, I'm always afraid I'm going to break them. But this guy seems pretty solid. Like, nothing on it seems solid. All the joints are nice and tight. So yeah, pretty solid release. I definitely like it a lot. But let me know what you guys think. Hit like, hit subscribe, check me out over on Instagram, Luke_figuremeout at Instagram.com. Probably gonna have some more pictures and stuff of this guy. I'm trying to post a picture a day on Instagram. That's my one of my New Year's goals. So far so good, but we're still in January, so a lot of photos to go. But let me know what you guys think over there. Let me know what you think here, and until we meet again, until next time, happy collecting.